Well, I had been seeing Dr. Mina for a scar that was on my lungs. And then one Saturday morning, I got up and went to work, and I really couldn't work. And so I went home and thought, I'll lie down for a while. And then I told my wife, I think I need to go to urgent care, St. Luke's Urgent Care at Ladue Crossing. The doctor came out after looking at the x-ray and told me I really needed to go to the emergency room. And she drove me out here, and they got me right in and screened me and got me to a ER room right away. And I was in a huge amount of pain at that point, literally thrashing around. And they moved pretty quickly to deal with my pain issues so that then we could all think about what came next. It turned out I had fluid outside of my lungs, and I had an infection outside my lungs. They drained a little bit of the fluid, expecting that to give me some pain relief, and it did not. And at that time, Dr. Mina and Dr. Reedy consulted. Dr. Reedy waded in and said, we know how to fix this. We know how to help this. We need to get in there right now and do it. They explained to me that they were going to do a procedure where they would go inside me and scrape the outside of my lungs of the infection and then drain the fluid. But I really don't recall being afraid. And part of the reason I wasn't afraid was I just felt like I was being taken care of by people who knew what they were doing. I did have a great deal of confidence, but I also had confidence in them because they were explaining. And once again, everyone was so kind. Everyone seemed to have so much empathy for my situation and really be focused not on everything else they had to do, but focused on me and what I needed and acknowledging my pain and dealing with my pain. The nurses and the techs would come in and they would say, when they'd start their shift, what do you need from me? Is there anything I can get for you? Do you need some help going to the bathroom? How's your pain level? I'm afraid of pain. I don't like pain. And I would say, is this gonna hurt? And they'd say no, and it wouldn't. Or they'd say, yes, but just for like 2 or 3 seconds. And they were always as good as their word. And that just continued to build up my confidence that, oh, I'm with people who know what they're doing and they know how to take care of me. But I don't think ever questioned that I was getting the best care that I could get. I had heard so much about so many people leaving the healthcare industry and about short staffing. I had conditioned myself to think, they're struggling and it's going to be really hard for them to take care of me. And instead, as I said, I was taken care of very well. I don't remember the name of my first nurse, but I believe her name was Mallory. And she interacted with my family in just a great way and was funny with them and funny with me and made it a much more relaxed rather than tense thing. And once again, just was constantly showing she was present and she cared and she was paying attention to things that were happening with me and with the people who were visiting me and with what was going on. Post-op, I went into the CV unit, which, you know, and I know this will sound stupid, but it did. It felt like I was at the Ritz-Carlton. I would recommend St. Luke's 1,000%. Just the feeling of being taken care of and being surrounded by competent, kind people when you really don't know what's going on, and it really is scary. I wasn't scared, and I wasn't scared because I was being well taken care of, and they were taking care of the people who loved me as best they could figure out how to do, and comforting them as well through great communication and just great care.